strong. They're definitely the heavy favorites, I would wager, but I wouldn't put it past this one like goes to take a game off, perhaps. Maybe go 1-1 here in our 2-game series.
10 seconds remaining.
All right. Again, at this point, just competing for points, setting yourselves up nicely in the Mr. Cat tournament bracket. So, Darkseer banned out. Warriors Gaming really hate that Darkseer. Is it worthy of such heavy aggression from them? That's been like their first ban every time.
Yeah, I guess they just don't like the laning scenario that it puts you in a lot of times. It can pressure various different carries. It's hard to deal with. You maybe feel pressured to take certain carries up against them, like Juggernaut or Lifestealer or something like that. And then it just has so many combinations that if you're second pick, it's so good because you can just go like Darkseer Slider or something. But if you take it first pick overall, then you run the trouble of like you take Darkseer and they go like Oracle Juggernaut or something. And now where the hell are you going to lane that guy? So I think if you're second pick, it's okay to leave it for sure if you're willing to play it. But first pick, I can understand the ban.
It's Warriors Gaming not changing it up too much. Of course, you gotta ban that Meepo against Warriors Gaming Unity. It's tradition at this point.
Reserve time.
Yeah.
If Young Minds are gonna follow up with the Luna ban that MVP Hot 6 really feared both games.
And then we'd be stuck in the same 4 bans every game. First pick.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe just the whole idea of just like that same idea of like the 4th pick overall in the first phase being a Luna could be very dangerous. So Young Minds maybe not wanting to leave that if they don't want to go for a like I don't think you first overall Luna. I don't think she's that crazy, but they'll take care of the Invoker. Okay. So.
All right. That Warriors Gaming Unity have a pretty high comfort level playing. We'll see what the first picks are going to be here. Luna is still available if Warriors Gaming want to just be like, all right, let's push, let's do this thing. They definitely can, but they're going to go with their Earth Spirit that we saw them pick up in game number 1 of our first series.
Yeah, I wonder if they're... I think maybe the idea behind this is just because you're thinking about the Invoker ban and just what that could mean. One of the best heroes right now that people take Invoker up against would be the Ember Spirit. So perhaps thinking that Young Minds might be looking to go Ember Spirit. So let's take Earth Spirit because when you have those melee mids, they're even more susceptible to the Rolling Boulder from Earth Spirit. It's easier to line it up because they have to come deeper into the creep wave to actually last it. And therefore, I mean, we already know that Warriors Gaming like the Earth Spirit first overall, but when it comes down to someone banning out Invoker like that and maybe tipping off that they're thinking about the Ember, I could see a little bit more value being added into it here.
Young Minds, how are they going to start out here? I would like them to pick up the Ogre. We saw MVP Hot 6 do that in game number 2, but I just think it's a really great all-around support, and even though, you know, other support's been buffed, that first pick Ogre meta has kind of fizzled away, I still think it's definitely viable.
Yeah, I still like Ogre. Definitely still like Rubik here too as well for Young Minds. Our Slider too, of course. All right, the big man himself. Every other region, he's first pick overall. Today we've had him come into the second phase, which is a little bit surprising a couple different times. But now this time it'll just be second, third pick, locking up Mr. Slider. So could again be position 3, more likely position 4. Seems to be the most comfortable place for this hero right now, as people tend to get a little bit more value out of their offlaners, and you can just do so much with this Slider that it's totally fine having him in the 4 role, and Rubik one of the better 5s overall right now. So solid draft opener from Young Minds. See what the response wants to be from Warriors Gaming, and it'll be the Ember Spirit for themselves.
All right, not changing things up too much. Most likely going to be Nana just taking that one once again towards that mid lane. Magnus banned out. Like Young Minds have done their homework, figuring out what they like, and Nick's banned out once again. Just very, very similar games. I'm guessing Young Minds watched the previous series.
Yeah, just smart thinking from Warriors Gaming. I mean, Nick Sass, one of the better heroes up against Ember Spirit anyway, can be very annoying when you're trying to like Flame Guard and farm a wave, and then this guy just Vendetta and carapaces you from invisibility. Easy setups there, so.
5 seconds remaining.
Good thinking here from WG. And we still have our position 1s to consider. The Juggernaut again, pretty good up against those Ember Spirits, but no Magnus now, as you pointed out, so you might not be thinking, you know, we don't get our Mag Jug. We still have our mid laner for Young Minds. They might want to ban out some of the harder ones to pressure, potentially, like maybe like a Shadow Fiend or something could be there for Young Minds.
Yeah, that Shadow Fiend could have been dangerous. It was banned out. Warriors Gaming Unity banned it out in their second series when they also picked up the Ember Spirits. They are scared of that possibility.
Yeah, he just gets a little bit too much, I feel like. If you have an Ember. I mean, they have an Earth Spirit too, though, so I could see even if Young Minds get an SF, I could see him get to like totally dumpstered just because Slider.
Yeah.
He's no
First
ogre.
Spirit just hangs out mid all game.
Yeah. There's a smart ban. I mean, we have the Luna still left in the pool, but there's not really good room for a Shadow Demon, so yeah, and they'll just remove that SF once again. So yeah, just kind of sticking to it here. Warriors Gaming.
Young Minds going in. They've got their most likely support duo, unless we're going to see something funky with the Slardar. So they still do need their mid, their carry, and their offlaner, or potentially another roamer.
Yeah, we still have our life stealer.
Yeah, that could be a really good one with the Slardar pick already on their team. I mean, you've got a vessel to get them in. I think Young Minds, they need some sort of reliable stun, reliable silence, just to make sure that Ember Spirit doesn't become too much of an issue. What would be their best bet for that?
Yeah, a little bit more control. Definitely very team dependent. That's the most reliable silence. Certainly used to be a more common counter to Ember Spirit when he played more of the Battle Fury build, and he was much more about being around the map and split pushing as opposed to like actually joining fights like the new Ember does. Much more of an interactive hero. He actually sees enemies sometimes throughout the game, but still going to be just as effective. Another counter silence coming from side of Warriors Gaming, that Disruptor. So intrigued to where this silencer goes, because this either means he's position 4 with like that Helm of the Dominator style build that we've seen a lot from like Puppy and some other teams, but could just end up being a position 2 silencer in the mid lane as well.
I mean, how uncommon is it to see Slardar in the off lane? Because it seems like Silencer could do a really great job at that, you know, lane support, like Rubik walk around.
It's definitely not too crazy. Like, it's kind of funny to even say that because he was just such a common and powerful offlaner. But I would say it's like a 20-80 split at this point. Like,
okay,
I think that sounds about right. 1 out of every 5 sliders head to the off lane versus support. It's so common these days. But yeah, again, the life. I mean, that's a very solid second phase draft right now from Young Minds.
I'm really liking the way they're drafting. If anything, I think this is potentially the draft that can take a game off Warriors Gaming today.
I think if they went Bat Rider last and actually sent the Silencer mid, that'd be pretty sick.
Oh, that would be snazzy, because then you got 2 vessels for the life stealer. You got really nice, you know, close lockdown for team fights, but you can also kind of spread out, so you're not as scared of that Disruptor ult of just getting completely locked down by one Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. I would definitely like that Bat Rider last pick.
Yeah, he just synergizes well with both the Life Stealer and the Silencer, where you always have the global, you jump in, like they're kind of best friends for a good reason. And although that's usually when Silencer's in the support role, it can work when he's the mid to get the higher levels and stuff going. We've definitely seen some teams opt for it. And now with the Weaver, too, just doubling down on evasive heroes. So maybe hoping that they can only focus down one of them during the length of the global silence. Bit of a riskier option here from Warriors Gaming, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that Weaver has to get a lot of space. We saw their Slark get a ton of space in the previous series, but Weaver is a little bit easy to catch in the earlier levels. Just got to make sure you got vision for that Scoochie, but definitely lower health pool, not staggering armor. And if you have, you know, a hero like Bat Rider that can just make Weaver walk through the fire, that is a dead bug.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Warriors Gaming are reading out of Young Minds right now. What do they think is going to happen? Will it be the more... I think the safest thing would probably be to ban the best mid that you feel like will be good against your Ember Spirit. If you feel like there's anyone super strong. We've already taken care of our... What else? OD still in, I guess. If they... Yeah, OD would be okay. The only thing is OD doesn't have a good forward... Well, he could allow the Slider to roam in.
For Young Minds, I feel like OD would just be way too int heavy. You'd just have Silencer, you'd have OD that are reliant on getting so much int. And if either of those have a really yucky start, it is not a super versatile lineup. You kind of got a couple things you're good at, and that's about it.
Yeah, but then it allows your Slider to actually do something. Because like, if this is a support Silencer, then you need some way to your Slider to do stuff before level 6. Because he can't just sit in lane. Like, that's a problem with the Slider. He needs to rotate before level 6, and you need a hero that can actually set up for it. So, no OD this game.
Centaur taken out as well for Warriors Gaming Unity, so we'll see what they're going to pick up here, assuming they're looking for a nice beefy offlaner, and they're going to go for a Mirana here, so not a whole lot of tank. They've just got a lot of high damage dealers, and staying alive in these fights might be more difficult than they're thinking.
Yeah. Again, very similar to an off-lane slider. You have to make a lot happen in the very early stages. You generally can't stay in lane and just, you're not a Timber Saw. You know, you're not a Nyx Assassin. You don't have those high HP regens or something like that. It allows you to just kind of hide in the trees, come back out, take a last hit, hide again, be generally annoying. It's much more about rotating and trying to have an impact on the other 2 lanes out of your off lanes. So Disruptor can help set up for that. Earth Spirit too. And yeah, it will just be a nice mid here with the puck. So
I like
a hero
that,
that we like, but yeah, exactly. Nice initiation with the Lifestealer, works well with the Silencer. Doesn't set up very well for a Slardar early on, though.
Yeah, but Puck is going to be pretty survivable in lane. Even if the Earth Spirit's there with the Ember Spirit, it's going to be pretty hard to actually pounce on Puck with the Phase Shift, with the Illusory Orb. Puck should be able to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, no, for sure. One of the better reasons to ever pick up this hero. It's like your queens, your pucks. Try to dodge out those Earth Spirit rolls, and especially the arrow, too. Are you getting your fun bug again?
I had, like, 1940s TV static bug. All right, we're fixed now. We're in.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so what are the team fights going to look like for these teams? Because I'm seeing, you know, the ability to kind of just deal with everything via gank. There's not a whole lot of absolutely huge wombo combo ulti, spare, you know, Disruptor and Puck. It's not going to be, you know, that chaos 5-on-5 fighting mid at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, I'd say it's for the Dire, they're definitely just going to be looking at the global silence. We talk a lot about cooldowns right now, where like how teams are just like go, go, go. Shrines allow you to, even if you like just lost or just won a fight, you can just immediately activate a shrine, get everyone back together, and just go raid again. So it's very difficult for these longer cooldown heroes to have the same impact. So for the Dire, just big focus on that to make sure their Weaver and their Ember Spirit won't be locked down when they take their biggest and most important fights. For the Radiant side, when they don't have the silence, I'd say they're still probably feeling really strong as long as they still have Infest up. And depending on the itemization and the timings here from our Slardar, probably going to have a pretty big impact here. So I'll be interested to see how he does. Oh, my Slardar looks really funny. He's like holding nothing.
I had a bug on a Mirana that I was just like in a pub with, and her Tiger just wasn't there, so she was just like rapidly air humping to move forward. It was the funniest thing. Like, just imagine Mirana, but like the mount just wasn't in the game. It was just Mirana with spread legs galloping around the map.
Yeah, can't say I've had that one. That sounds pretty good though.
It was unique. My Slardar also has nothing. He looks like a weird leech with no like tail fins or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. He's like a leech.
He is a leech, dude.
That's because he was DC when he loaded in. That was pretty ugly.
Hey man, all Slardars are beautiful.
Well, I guess everyone's just doing their same thing. All right, we're gonna go call now. We're good. We'll get right into
Looks
our...
like everyone's ready to go. And are we going to see like really feisty rune contests this time? Because it's been real fun to watch, you know, with 4 runes spawning and heroes like a Slardar that have that level 1 stun. It's been real interesting to see how that goes about. We have our Rubik going down, placing a nice ward to get some vision, but it looks like our Rubik may actually be in a little bit of trouble here.
It dissipated!
That thing like grazed the back of his hip, and now it looks like this is actually going to be Ben in some serious trouble. The crush to lock him down, and that's going to be the first blood for the Puck. A little bit of turnaround there as Rubik is feeling really confident.
Oh, wow, that was great. They did definitely spot out where he warded, though, so I feel we'll probably be handing this over to someone. It's like a 100% certain they know. Yeah, obviously he's going to give it right to Nana. And so it will be Nana in the mid lane on our Mirana. They're going to send a solo safe lane Ajit here. Well, actually, no, they are going to give him a little bit of help there with X-Nova. So they're actually going to send Ben once again. So we had Ben earlier on this Weaver, where he had a solo 1v1 versus a Magnus, if I recall correctly. Ooh. And he had a pretty good time. This time, it's going to be up against a Silencer and a Lifestealer. So not going to be nearly as good, will not be getting as farmed and as accelerated, but it is going to give him much better time to Nana, and it's less reliant on those ganks, which would have been very hard this game. Like, he could have ganked a Slardar for sure in lane, but that would have meant he was rotating the entire way around the map to try and kill this guy. He's not going to get a puck in the mid, and he's not going to be able to kill a Lifestealer. So I like this audible call from Warriors Gaming in terms of their laning.
Right, who needs to be rotating first? I mean, you've got an Earth Spirit, you've got, you know, a Rubik and a Slardar and heroes that want to get out, want to get active around the map. What is the ideal first gank to happen?
I mean, probably just pushing into the Slardar, just killing him over and over. he can't jungle. He bought laning items, so killing him would be the best possible scenario for Warriors Gaming. For now, he's already starting to be harassed. Still has his salve, still has his shrine, but if they can just beat those down into him, there just won't be anything for the Slider to do. The only other way he'll be able to get kills is if Rubik sets up for him, but he's going to be busy down bottom trying to help them throw down Ben.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a couple of reasons why, you know, Slardar offlane isn't as popular, but Risen's just taking it on. He's going to be trying his luck, I guess, in the jungle, just moving around, but that is a tri-lane to go against. That is a huge hurdle for him, and I just don't think he's going to be able to get enough out of that.
I can't do anything. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, he's,
Like, this is your Slider. At least he got the
just
Satyrs.
like Iron Talon and walk around. There's nothing.
Yeah, this is like the best possible camp, I would say, for this scenario, though, so you can just abuse your crushes and use the shrine to at least get some experience, but it could have been an even worse job. Ben is just going to play with the trees. Still an obnoxious hero, but these three heroes just going to make him almost as irrelevant as the Slardar.
Yeah, luckily Silencer's been spamming out that Arcane Curse. They have that little bit of reliable damage, and you know he can scooch you away, but he's still ticking down slowly but surely. He started out with plenty of tangos. He's now down to 5, but he is definitely making sure regen's a priority here.
Yeah, they might have let Risen get a little bit too much right here. Like, maybe one hero should have been over here bullying him, especially around the 2-minute mark. Like, I think Earth Spirit should have been in here contesting that rune while the Disruptor was doing this stuff, or someone should have been, just knowing what this Slider was up to and how useless he is at level 1. But he will be able to get his own bounty rune. Maybe a little bit of an error there from Warriors Gaming. They are instead trading that out for guaranteed experience on Afu by just farming up this camp with the pulls and stuff, and so it will be quicker to accelerate the Earth Spirit and less risk than trying to tango up with that Slider early on, I suppose.
So as it goes now, we have a rotation coming in towards mid. There are going to be 2 smoked up heroes, our Rupik and our Silencer, looking for a nice early pick on that Mirana. She doesn't have her leap skilled yet. She's level 4. But hasn't picked that out, so we'll see if there's going to be some sort of initiation on her, but she's staying really far back and now has the help of an Earth Spirit nearby.
Yeah, she'll take it now. Just the support's been missing from bottom so long, she knows this is coming. This is a really low percentage play. I'm surprised Young Minds even went for this. Even if you get the lift there, I think they'd be hard-pressed to get the kill. It's a 0.75 seconds silence.
Top lane Risen, he's made his way back into lane. He's realized that a couple of supports have rotated out. It's easier for him, so he's actually getting a little bit of farm. Slardar now at 5 last hits, was able to land a crush, get a little bit harassed on the Ember, but still not looking easy for him.
Yeah, now she's 19 and 9 now. Very well farmed for himself, but yeah, Risen definitely making the right call. The other side of the map, Ben doing okay for himself too. He's gonna have a rotation down from the Earth Spirit, but once again, unlikely to really amount to too much. Fred's just been chilling with the salve, holding on to it for a while. Nice solid pull though from Ben. It's gonna give him a nice big wave to drag in towards his tower.
Gonna deal with a little bit of damage, but again, still 3 tangos left, and now has his shrine soon to be up and active.
Oh,
Up
that was
top,
close.
we've got Risen trapped in the kinetic field. Nova's getting low. They've got the Searing Chains. They've got the damage they need. Risen wants to go in, hits the crush, gets the Disruptor. I don't know if he's going to be getting out alive, but he got it what he needed to. He's able to pop off that salve and may actually end up living through this. Another crush, turning some damage onto Afu, but that's going to be the end of the Slardar's play, and it is more than what they needed.
Oh, but down
is going to be a
bottom.
kill down bottom. 3 heroes able to take out a Weaver finally. Not too dramatic, though, but that Slardar play was very well done.
And that's our second Weaver death with the Sansa there, right? So that's another -2.
Rubik going really deep, grabbing up the enemy's bounty runes. A little bit more gold going towards the support early game. Never going to be a bad thing.
Yeah. I actually thought X-Nova made a pretty sick play there where because he had the skill point available and he went for the skill in the kinetic field instead of the glimpse, which like that kinetic field was so close to missing on the Slider. I was surprised he went for it just because it was like the max range possibility, whereas the glimpse would have been the guaranteed bring back. But they didn't have enough stuns to actually keep him in place that it would have been for the kill without it. So it was like a riskier play going for the kinetic field, but it was the only way they could secure the kill. And then, I mean, that Fairy Fire stun, though, that was just dope.
Yeah, I mean, you could feel that Slardar's desperation. He wasn't panicking. He's like, all right, I'm probably going down. Who can I take with me? Disruptor's a nice, easy pick, and he kept his eyes on the prize. Now here we've got Nana going in, able to leap back and dodge out the aggression from Carl, but this puck is still playing very far forward and able to actually snatch up a kill.
Wow. All right. Well
And
done.
going for more. I mean, showing off that Dream Coil, might be able to find a double for this. Trying to roll up onto the high ground, is able to do so. There's going to be a wrap in. We've got Wiz coming through, but I don't think they're going to be fully committing for this. But still, things starting to get a little bit shook up here at the 5-minute mark. More supports roaming around the map. You've got ultis starting to come out for your mid heroes, for your safe laners. They'll be up soon, and it's going to get a whole lot more interesting. Right now, Young Minds are looking really strong up against Warriors, who are so far undefeated today.
Yeah, usually it can be pretty hard to get that early kill in your lane, especially without any real assistance from the Puck. I mean, he had a Fade Bolt thrown out, but typically, like, Puck's moves are generally kind of telegraphed, and you can play around it. It's often that TP into a side lane that ends up getting you your first kills, but Carl not having those problems as he gets himself a haste rune, and well on the way to the Veil first he has queued up. Now, if he manages to find another quick pick, he might just head right back in towards a Blink Dagger if he can find the gold. We'll have to see. It is a nice Veil for the rest of his team, though. As well,
there's a lot of magic damage coming out, especially from this Mirana, who looks like she's going to be starting to chug her way towards Ags after picking up the bottle.
Oh yeah, double Veils, Puck and Ember Spirit. So we're working them on both sides of the field here, and I like the added armor for the Puck too in this game. Just up against that Weaver's gonna be very helpful. Ooh, Carl, close on
yeah,
that
those phase shifts have been super on point. I think she's dodged out almost every Starfall now. Ben gonna be going down. They've got vision of this little bug. They're gonna keep up with him here. Do they have the damage though? The time lapse back out into the lane, and there's nothing else to block him in. So solid effort from the Radiant, not able to catch the Weaver out this time, but they still do have the leg up on him in lane.
Risen just comes firing out of there. Stun.
Oh, able to land the crush before the glimpse takes effect, and Carl just finishes the job, man. That guy's the executor.
That's so rude. You know, Slider, he puts in the work, and then he just gives solo experience to the Puck. How's that fair? Really?
So you're calling that unfair, but when Invoker gets gifted a Sunstrike, you're like, oh, that's so generous. That's so sweet.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was a self-gift. Oh, at least Silencer wasn't there, so no -6 coming through.
Nana
is like cosplaying an illusion or something here.
A little bit of sleep at the wheel, but all good. Maybe getting out of there, making everyone think he's an illusion. Meanwhile, Afu just hanging around the trees. We've now got 3 Dire Heroes bottom, so maybe trying to take back this lane from a Lifestealer who's getting a lot out of it.
Yeah, Fred's eyeing up that armlet. His best friends this game, Carl, as well as our side. How is Risen's gold stash here? 400. He did have to go back to that Iron Talent just because of the lane, but other than that, not too bad. Can bully up Ajit and his Veil. So Puck did finish out the Veil, not going to opt for the early Blink Dagger. So we've got Veil on Veil action, and it doesn't mean, oh, wow, that was a quick burst.
That was a great Veil pickup. Hello, magic damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty strong. We'll see if Nana can do the same thing down bottom here. So they need silence and kick. Oh, that was a great start.
That was a beautiful start. He's still got the infest if he can react fast enough, but just does not have the opportunity, as Mirana can drop too much magic damage with that max level Starstorm now. So very well played. Finally getting a little bit of control back bottom, and this is going to be going a little bit smoother for Warriors Gaming Unity overall. That's their first kill of the entire game. It's still looking great for Young Minds, though.
Yeah, that was really well done. Just using the angle of the arrow in the trees there from the Invisor. Just make sure you have no time to react.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, X-Nova still level 5. I'm sure he would love to grab this tome at level 10 here and get a little pull through here too. This will help him get him 6.
And brings in the Lifestealer, but there is no blink, so he just kind of has to sprint in and hope for a really nice crush. Getting down this Ember Spirit could be huge, but of course he's got remnants, he's got one dropped out. We'll see if this is going to be happening now. It's Bale. We're going in, and that's going to be Ajit just going in. Moonlight Shadow popped out. Fred is just getting completely destroyed. Oh my goodness, he's going in. They ended up losing that Slardar, but they are able to get the kill on the Ember Spirit overall, and the rotation in from the Puck is going to be huge. The arrow connects onto the Lifestealer, and now the drop down. They just got too much magic damage. Can our little Lifestealer end up living through this? Afu going in, and now that Rage is going to be enough to secure Fred another kill. The double kill from the Slardar Infest Bomb, and it looks like they want to go for this Mirana as well. The TP is canceled. Mirana's able to pick up the kill on the Lifestealer, but Carl takes that right back. That was a interesting little fight there. Slardar, the Vessel, died right away, allowing for the Lifestealer and the Puck to make the plays, but wasn't as clean as it could have been.
It was so smart, though, because they were hoping that Slardar would live, yes, but the unintentional good game, well played, I'm sure. They're hoping the Slardar would live past the remnant burst, because once the remnants were used, because that's the thing about the new Ember Spirit, like all your damage comes from the remnants because this veil build and everything, so you have to use them all to try and burst them down. The second the remnants were burst, that's when Lifestealer comes out, because now there's no escape, and he's able to run them down. Totally
bottom
with
lane.
Slider's life.
Weaver gets a taste of his own medicine, silenced up, can't time lapse out, and has a bug clinging to him, so very well played from the Rubik. Didn't panic, instead turned it right back around on him.
Yeah, I'm able to get the Shikuchi, but as long as it gets the kill, I'm sure he's more than happy with the situation. -8 for our silencer as well. How obnoxious.
Yeah, silencer can start to stack up pretty big. The int heroes are huge this game. I mean, a lot of your big damage sources are going to be on the inty side.
Yeah, maybe some magic resistance for the Dire couldn't hurt. Unfortunately, it's just like it's helpful against the puck, but they don't really have a natural pipe builder. So they're just kind of in this awkward scenario where you're probably just going to have to wait until you're higher levels on the Dire to not have to deal with this. Going to be very obnoxious for Ben for sure.
Got a big smoke coming in. Ben has got to live through this one, otherwise it's going to be his 4th death in just the laning phase. This Weaver's in some trouble. The smoke is going to pop, and Ben's going to scoot his way back. They popped down a sentry, just barely out of tower range. Look how close that thing is. Oh, no, they got it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That little bit of the extension of the true sight.
It was like on the line, so the tower wasn't hitting it, but they could still see it. Oh, glimpse back. They're able to go ahead, try to catch the Rubik, but with that, Scoochie's able to go and get himself back safely.
Yeah, neutral creep tanks the arrow there. The Radiant. So, nice guy right there. But Nana, level 10. Look for that high magic output, going for the 3 points in the lead, not going for that max arrow. It's definitely the more common Mirana build. We've seen a couple of you mix it up lately, but Kirito and Ben dancing, doing Shikuchi battles. Good observer war plays down here from Afu. So low on Kirito, he's just like such like fresh bait here for Afu. Yeah, he's done.
Is he? Oh, he's trying for it. He's going to actually Scoochie away. This is going to be the best bait we've seen this game. This Rubik is making the plays. It may end up costing him his life. This next tick of Thunderstrike should finish him off, but no! He actually gets out with sub 10 HP. And it's going to be scooching back around. Looks like the Weaver might be able to take him down. Oh, that's got to be a bittersweet death. He's actually able to scoochie once again, microing the courier at the same time.
Oh, he baited him. Oh, the juice.
Oh, my goodness, Rubik. That is just...
I can understand that because Ben's like, all right, the only way he lives is if he goes
plus.
in here, right? Because if I chase this way, I'm going to see him and I'll kill him under the tower, but he out-mind gamed him.
There's going to be that silence landing onto the puck. Do they have enough burst damage to take him down before the phase shift? Looks like the phase shift is able to go dodge down that damage. They've got a really, really nice puck ult. And finally, they get down the Mirana, but it does cost Puck his mega kill streak. That's going to be a pretty big bounty, about 650 gold going straight to the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, it also required the global silence, too, just to make sure they could at least get one kill. So that kind of hurts. We'll see. Disruptor, I haven't seen much from X-Nova in terms of like the ultimate stuff yet either. Not really finding that positioning. Like, he was the one who started that whole fight down bottom with the glimpse to stop the TP from Rubik. And then we just kind of got nothing after that now. Lift in the mid lane, but again, no globals, so no real concern here. X-Nova maybe hoping to get his team to smoke up and get something done, because right now, this Slider has been farming up for a long time. Risen's just found a ton of space, not joining these engagements, but getting closer and closer to the blink. And him and Risen... or rather, Risen as well as this Puck are going to be terrifying. Like, Carl with a life stealer inside of him, and fresh blinks.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of blinks, a lot of mobility this game. You just look at who's building a blink dagger, who could potentially build a blink dagger. This is going to be a fun game of cat and mouse to watch if we have one of those long, jukey fights.
Yeah, Fred's coming now, so this will be the group up. And probably one of the strongest points in the entire game here for Young Minds. These blink daggers online. Our armlet. The burst damage is going to be ridiculous.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I hope he actually finishes an armlet here for our lifestealer too. That'd be pretty sick. Or sorry, not an armlet, an orchid. He apparently
he's
has
got an armlet.
Yeah, no, he's got the orchid queued up. Which is, it's a good game for it too, with the Weaver and the Ember Spirit. I can definitely understand it. The only thing is they're gonna naturally build into anti-silence items anyway because they have a silencer on the enemy team.
Oh, look at that Weaver just get fucking smashed. Oh, that's gotta be satisfying.
Yeah, there's a reason we have lifestealer Slider for sure. Just It's crazy. It's kind of unbelievable you can pump out that much damage just during the stun duration of Slardar. And with that not needing the global stun... Oh, sorry.
Immediate follow-up there. They've got that Static Storm rolling. They're probably going to be able to find a lifestealer. The Static Storm is not going to last long enough to get the kill, but instead he's going to be giving it away to our Ember Spirit. So an even better scenario for Ajit. He picks up a double kill in this fight. Moonlight Shadow still rocking. Is Afu really going to try to reinitiate here? It looks like Afu might actually be the one in trouble here. His roll does not go as far as he needs it to, and he will end up hitting the deck. So Carl at least gets something out of this bottom lane engage, but still overall a positive for Warriors Gaming.
That was a nice grab by Carl. Just jaunt into that orb to make sure he can roll away. It's kind of pretty... Oh, God, I still have last that's on it. 16 minutes. Whew. Sorry, I'm not watching chat. Apologies, guys.
I was going to mention the net worth of Ember Spirit and Puck is like neck and neck. They are really keeping up with each other because they're not really attacking each other ever. They're just going after easy, squishy supports and starting to rake in those kills.
81.50 now on our Ember Spirit, so... Ajit, okay. I thought maybe for a moment he was considering doing something a little wild here, going like that straight Radiance that we saw right at the start of the Ember Spirit phenomenon.
Battle Fury
but
Daedalus Ember Spirit.
No,
back, man.
Old school. Yeah, no. Not quite. But, yeah, I know.
Think that'll ever come back from the dead?
If there was a talent introduced that would make that build better, for sure. I'm not sure what it would be, but...
Plus 10% cleave or something, I don't know. Alright, either way, Risen doing his best up in this top lane. I am so surprised this Slardar has been as survivable as he is. Risen just has this amazing game sense over whether it's time for him to leave the lane, whether he needs to be jungling, or whether he can stick it out. And he's actually found a pretty solid amount of farm for a Slardar that started as poor as he is.
Radiant's bottom tower
Smoke rotation up into the jungle. And lifted up, smacked down, and that kitty is put to sleep.
It's so painful for Warriors Gaming, too, every time they're get one of these kills and they don't have to use global. Because it just means you can't initiate on them if they still have global, or you run into like massive risks unless you can bring down Wiz right away. As well as the fact that every time they're just stacking it more and more, this int. Now we've got 12.
Got a dangerous situation brewing up top. How do you think this one's going to pan out? Because Ben can definitely get himself away, but this Disruptor is going to have to respond pretty quickly with the TPs if he wants to have any chance of making it out. Because again, like you mentioned, they still do have the global, and they've got Rubik now, has the glimpse back, so even a TP can't really stop.
Yeah, he might be dead from Risen. Yeah, he's dead.
Go forward. They got the Corrosive Haste. Ben's able to skirt around the backside, but the support, once again, will be going down. That is going to be Disruptor's 5th death, unfortunately.
Oh, they were quick on that movement. And was that another? Yep, minus 14.
Damn, Wiz is just completely getting absolutely beefy here for a support silencer. He's got what he needs. He started out, he had like only brown boots for the longest time in the game, and now he's just triumphant. Global Science being used to disengage on this Puck, and Puck is just keeping control of this mid lane. Not really phased by anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised I went for that. I'm not even sure it was necessary. Had the Yules and everything, but it's fine. Just guarantees Carl's escape. Now there's an Arcane Rune as well with his ulti available. So
that's fair.
Yeah, look to pressure in. Very good option on a Puck here. So no global. It's a great time for Warriors Gaming to actually try and find a fight, but they use the Moonlight Shadow and full vision of the Observer Ward.
Now bottom lane, Radiant are able to chew down that tower as well, so hopefully Dire aren't just on a wild goose chase right now.
They have the Sentry, so they're letting them come in here, but I don't know, this is risky.
I think they just got a little too hurted here. They got played on. Now we're going to see if the Puck's going to get out alive, but one more tick of that Starstorm, and that is just 2 heroes dead. Yeah, they traded for a tower, but that seemed a little bit cocky.
Yeah, definitely. Thinking they can get some sort of a big turnaround play there. I guess I can understand the idea that maybe if we get a Dream Coil, slide our Lifestealer immediately TP him to the top lane or something, and then we start a fight, but the not expecting how fast X-Nova was going to be on that double 2-man Static Storm, and they just get obliterated. So very well done. That whole play would have fallen apart if it wasn't for the Static Storm. And now it's them getting a tower, and no real pressure put onto the bottom here, saying they'll just TP down. And maybe Risen, yeah, they're thinking about it. Maybe considering if they want to try and go for a jump here. They'll back themselves away.
Got a blink being worked on by Earth Spirit here. So we're going to have like stupid mobility coming out of both sides here. Earth Spirit with a blink, Ember Spirit, Mirana's got her leap, Weaver's just, you know, Weaver. And now Rubik has a blink. Our Slardar has a blink. Puck has it. Lifestealer is going to be inside the people with the blink. These fights are going to take place across the entire map.
Yeah, and then it'll be a force staff for just that last bit of mobility coming out next from Wiz. Haven't talked too much about the actual build as well, but that whole Helm of Dominator thing again, the silencer. It's just, I don't know why, but it just seems to suit this hero so well. Just, he doesn't really need anything else. He naturally builds up all this damage, so the attack speed helps from the Helm of Dominator too. And as a hero, like, because you have this global reach, then you can be as far away as you want, but then having this Helm of Dominator allows your creep to still have a good impact in the fight, especially with something like this Mud Golem. It's guaranteed stun, and if he happens to go down, you get a couple more. Now smoked up, coming through. Looks like the Dire are kind of weary about where their movements might be right now.
And Dire actually drawn on the top half of the map. They're scanning around the Roche pit because they know all the Radiant. They're out of vision. They're not quite sure where they're at, but they have no real idea where to find them. There's going to be some Radiant pings here on the high ground trying to figure out, are they mid? Are they bottom? And both teams kind of losing eyes on each other right now. Puck reveals bottom, and that's going to be maybe a jump point for the Dire.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They won't actually go for the Roche themselves. They're content to ignore this.
Yeah, they can't kill it, though. Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, not yet.
Especially with this Lincoln's being built. Unnecessary from the Weaver because of Slardar, but damn, if that doesn't hurt. And they just have to play this game so passive from the Dire. Definitely not out of it. I mean, overall in terms of like net worth, and despite that pretty early game acceleration and considering the lineup they have, things actually look okay for Warriors Gaming. Young Minds just need to keep this train rolling. Like, they need to get another kill going, and then they need to get into that Roche pit because they can just obliterate it.
Yeah, you look at the overall XP, and it's actually pretty heavily in Warriors Gaming favor. It's 3,000, and you go ahead and check out the levels, and things are looking pretty okay.
Yeah, that makes sense with how much they've been grouping up together on Young Minds, and as well as how much this has been going on, where Slardar just sits waiting the Lifestealer. He's going to be a Purge creep to help out, too. And botsing it on the Ember. Oh, Ajit. Cautious.
And Warriors Gaming.
Good thing he shift queued that blink. Alright, well, our double header of Warriors Gaming today has featured this a couple times. At least it's only like once per game.
Yeah, they gotta have their ceremonial all disconnect.
Yep, typical. Jeez, imagine if he didn't shift queue that blink. And he's just sitting there in that creep wave. They would have blinked and they'd be killing him right now.
I'll just absolutely murdering him. Talk a little bit about the talent trees that have been picked up, because we finally have time to click around and look on the heroes. What is any remarkable choices? Anything that you weren't expecting? I'm clicking, trying to look for any oddities that I'm finding.
I think some people are surprised by the 60 gold minute. I don't know. I've heard the other one just completely, I don't know. Everyone's like either super for it or super against it, and I'm not really sure where I stand.
I mean, it's like basically a Midas, just like a free Midas, or you can have the better part of an Aether Lens, get that long-range glimpse going, get that, you know, kinetic field cast from the back of the fight where Disruptor's not as vulnerable. So there's a lot of... What?
Yeah, I was looking at the Rubik one, but yeah, you're right.
I was
they have the
looking
same
at
one. They both have 60. But like for the Rubik one, it's plus 60 damage. That's a lot of damage. I mean, that's a like permanent DD rune on your support. So the argument is that you can kill a neutral in the same, like every minute you could kill like a neutral faster or something. But I kind of agree that like as a support though, especially these position 5s, it's not like how often do you get to actually get last hits? And when you're getting last hits, they're generally in lane, so it's not like it's going to make it any faster to get a last hit with that much damage. So I lean more towards the GPM talents than I do the actual damage. But on Rubik though, I'm a little more halfway though, because I feel like during telekinesis you can get off a couple last hits, or rather a couple right clicks. Either way, they're all back now. We have the Orchid on our Lifestealer, so now we just see if they're going to show down bottom with Ajit. And how fast they can... Right.
Oh, going in. They've got the Global Silence committed as well, and it looks like this Ember Spirit has just fallen victim. Earth Spirit trying to roll down to the low ground will be successful in doing so, but the Ember, the much bigger prize in that fight, has already been claimed.
All right, perfect timing for them.
Oh. I thought Puck was going to go try to drop the ult and make things happen.
Well, he's already back in. He was infested for so long that's already back off cooldown. They might not be expecting this right now from Warriors Gaming. And just waiting for the Orchid. It's there. It's ready.
Going in pretty deep about that. They don't even need to commit the ult right now, and Lifestealer just goes to town. Puck thinking about maybe casting that Dream Coil to hold everyone in place, but is it really necessary? Puck's can go ahead and phase shift out of this, might be left alone a little bit, able to blink back up to the high ground, dodging the arrow, and is going to be channeling up that Illusion Orb, but can't jaunt to it. Is silenced by the Static Storm, and that's going to be a kill on the Puck. Carl Once again, just getting a little too confident in these fights and underestimating the silence and the control that Warriors Gaming have. Now we see Lifestealer re-engaging, able to pick up another quick kill on the supports, and Warriors Gaming, they're pressing forward for this. They've got Ben now committed, and they're able to drop a quick kill onto that Rubik. They're looking for Risen as well, who's trying to go in, trying to go once again for those clutch crush plays, but can't find anything. And all of a sudden, Warriors Gaming take that fight into their favor.
Yeah, all because they didn't have dust. Big mistake by Young Minds. Should have been able to kill the Earth Spirit right at the start of that fight. They used the Orchid on top of him, and suddenly he's just invis from Nana. And so no dust was available on the slider. Couldn't pop that up. And that probably just a symptom of the fact that they've just been doing this area and fighting here so much that he's probably just used it all at this point. Like, he hasn't really been back to base and doing a great job keeping up that aggression. But one little mistake like that, and the whole fight gets turned around. And they like, had to keep that ball rolling. Like, that's so bad for them right now.
It just felt like Young Minds way overcommitted to that fight. They went in, they got what they wanted, and they just kind of stayed and kept, you know, boxing it out. And Warriors Gaming have shown that they've now got the sustain to deal with that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, we'll see if they can get back on the right track here from Young Minds. The Desolator's almost done here for Fred. He did get at least a couple snowball kills there with that Orchid, so probably still happy with the pickup and the, you know, I guess just like a good way to Orchid people up after the Global Silence or something. But they want one more kill before they head into the Roche Pit. Radiant Vision, they might have seen someone moving around. Lifestealer seems very confident that's where Earth Spirit's going to be. He's quite right, but they won't be there in time.
Oh, immediate force staff forward. They're going to commit the global here for the kill on the Mirana. It's not exactly the most high-value kill on the map, but definitely doing a good job keeping her progress slowed down. He went in for the Manta style instead of trying to go for that early Ags.
Yeah, again, just too many silences. They just need to all get defensive items up against it. With the Lifestealer doubling down on the Orchid, it's even more important. And again, still kind of slightly risky that he did that, but so far so good.
Right.
The only
Radiant
problem
are not exactly being discreet about this Roche attempt. They just kind of strolled in. There's a Dire Observer Ward scouting out every movement in and out of the pit, so Dire know what's up right now. Meanwhile, mid lane, our Puck is going to be silenced up, Yulesed up, making space for the rest of his team, but may end up giving his life for this. In fact, may be able to re-engage with his team. Puck is going to be able to go, blinks into the trees, not going to be able to live through this, but Aegis has been claimed by the Lifestealer, and it looks like they're ready to go forward. There is going to be that Static Storm connecting onto just the Slardar. He doesn't have his buddy infested in him. There's a Glimmer Cape on the Rubik now. Crush from the Slardar trying to buy himself some time, but the Remnant's coming in, just spraying out damage left and right. Roll forward. It looks like our Rubik is going to get clipped on by the arrow as well. Not a great day to be Young Minds, and I mean, you called it. All of a sudden, after one lost team fight, there's just this spiral that's happening.
Yeah, Fred, even probably going to at least lose the Aegis here.
Oh, clipped by Mirana's arrow, hit by the bugs. I mean, does he go down a second time here, or does he just rage and walk uphill?
I'm not sure what the cooldown is. He's
Looks
got
like
it, but immediate stun.
He's got it, but he's getting greedy. You saw that indecision there. He wasn't sure whether he wanted to go for Rubik, or rather go for Weaver, or go straight uphill, and ended up costing him most of his health pool trying to figure that out.
Carl going to try and chase down on the bend, knowing that he's low.
Oh? They get Afu, they cancel his TP. It's just an Earth Spirit without any mana, so Carl laying in the right clicks.
Oh, he face shifted! Okay, he's still going to get him.
Alright.
That was close. That was kind of funny.
Kind of like, alright, here you go, sir. Just stroll right on past me.
Open the door and let him on through. Well, Nana seems to have leapt himself down into a bit of a cubby here, but get himself out now with another leap.
Oh. Puck may be in a little bit of trouble. Again, Ember Spirit has that Yules. It's a pretty powerful control tool. Ember Spirits don't, you know, that's not like ultra staple of the build, but against a Puck, it's just phenomenal for holding him in place and making him burn unnecessary spells.
Well, the loss of the Aegis. At least we have a Desolator now. Very Radiant side. Looks like they'll clean up this camp and thinking about going on the hunt once more. Global is up. Just needs a little bit of mana there from Wiz.
Oh man, Trent, you talked about Young Minds really needed to keep that ball rolling and take a look at the net worth chart. Just after one or two lost fights, a couple bad pickoffs, that is right back to even.
Yeah.
Warriors Gaming can easily grab this if they keep their minds to it.
They went all in on this like Orchid Lifestealer and just we're gonna kill, get Roche, get the towers, take their shrines, and just keep going with our Slardar. But now, losing those fights, they've offered over the defensive tools to Warriors Gaming, and now this one they're going to start building into some of those offensive items. Like Ben, this guy just has a Lincoln sphere. And hasn't even started to show his true colors as a Weaver yet. And he's just going to go into the Manta style as well. Already a solid item on Weaver, but again, the doubling down on the silence. It's like making all these items just extra valuable for their side.
Yeah, Ben had a super tough time in lane. We talked about that Weaver that just kept dying, but he has pretty much made it back to almost even. You know, he's found some safe space for himself. He's kept himself out of trouble, picked up a couple kills, and he's been playing really well after that initial laning phase.
Yeah, being extra sneaky up here too. Just waiting it out here. Knows the gank train needs something. Oh, this could be good though. X Nova. Good immediate ward. Save me, Mirana, please. Oh, I like this. Ben, they're starting to pinch in here. I don't know. It's a little bit risky.
Right?
Ben on the back lines. He wants Wiz. He wants to force out this global.
They are going to be able to go through. They catch out Lifestealer in this silence. He doesn't have his rage available, so he just can't get out of this. Now he's going to immediately rage. Global silence has been popped, and Young Minds seem indecisive. Is this a re-engage or is this a back? And now they finally decided to get back. Can they all escape scot-free? Your puck is going to be stunned up. We're going to have Lifestealer Glimmer Caped. He's just barely skirting around. Ends up going down. We are going to get a kill on our silencer. It looks like they want to go in for Ben again here, but the damage is too much. The silencer drops, and now Carl, look at the damage being taken by the Mirana Illusions. Is going to phase shift and disjoint the pathing, but still, is he fast enough to get out of here? He blinks away, but the TP's to the shrine. He's going to be jaunting to his illusory orb, but is actually
Carl, what a play.
Down.
Stays behind the Dagon, and he might even escape. He still has Yules. He just wants to wait for his orb first. He's got his
How
blink
is he
as well.
still alive?
He's a player. That was nicely done. There's also a sick play up top we need to talk about from Credo, where he stole the Searing Chains and stopped the kill from coming up. He ended up hitting it on the Ember Spirit and the Earth Spirit.
Speaking of Ember Spirit, he's still in the heat of it here, going to be lifted up, dropped down, but they don't really have any sort of damage sources left. Crush has already been committed, and now Arrow going to be dodged out by Risen, but I don't know if it's looking too great for him. He's going to have to go and get himself home. He's got it.
He's so close to blink.
Oh, no, he's dead. Unfortunate, too. He had like 2k gold in the bank, and now he's down to 1,700.
That's going to hurt towards his BKB.
I am thoroughly surprised that Puck lived. We talked earlier about how there's so many, you know, mobility spells. There's blinks everywhere. That fight took place from like here down to like here.
Yeah.
that was a Puck on the move, man.
There's an eventual escape there. Well, Ben has enough for his mana style now. He can fly that out here. Just clean up a couple camps. Courier just getting back home anyway, so I'll give him his other tool. Make him nice and safe from all these silences. Gonna have a little bit of a hard time here, I would say, for Carl to finish people off. In fact, he's gonna go for a little bit of a defensive option himself. Grab the Lincoln Sphere. Not gonna go for the extra points in the digging. It's fine later on, but you really get less and less value out of it. You start stacking up those recipes, at least during the mid game. Though the cooldown thing is nice, but I gotta say, Wiz has been looking pretty stacked up this game. 3-1-11, playing very well for a silencer that's actually like taking part in these fights. 18 stolen intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember looking at him in lane, and he had like only brown boots and like 1 observer ward. I'm like, this guy is dirt poor. He's just sitting back, but he's found himself the stolen int he needs. He's participated in a ton of these kills, and he's only gonna get stronger as the game goes on. I mean, that int is only gonna go up.
Wow, butterfly done as well, so Rana, I mean, this is kind of your classic build, but it makes more sense in this game. You consider what they're up against and just how much better the late game's already going to be for the Dire. Well, why not just build fully into it?
Yeah, she started to go towards the Diffusal Blade. I had her clicked on it. It was in her quick buy, but I guess changing her mind, figuring she can get the butterfly in a decent amount of time, and that is phenomenal.
It's also
32 minutes in, she's got her boot, she's got Midas Manta Butterfly, and she is feeling very comfortable.
Diffusal's like so much worse now too, especially against this lineup. Like, doesn't do anything against a puck. It's okay against Slider and Lifestealer, I suppose, but you have to deal with the rage as well as the BKB. Gonna be out soon for a Slider that she knows, and not able to purge silences off yourself anymore. Just Garbo item. So I like it.
Maybe not Garbo.
Garbo, Annie. No, there's no middle ground in items in Dota 2. There's only good or Garbo.
And what's Sanch and Yasha, man?
Oh, it's good. That item's in now. It got buffed. Troll Warlord's back, baby.
Is it buffed enough, though?
Oh yeah, no, item's good. It's fine.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure it'll make a comeback on a couple heroes.
All right, smoke up. I like this play. Just kinetic feeling this area to make sure there's no ward on the cliff. Just getting some good vision going. They've got a gem now on that disruptor. That's why they're able to check for wards without popping down their sentries. And I mean, disruptor's kind of a fragile gem holder. We'll see what they're gonna do with that. But Rubik just completely dropped, picked off from his friends.
Oh. Think about the Shadow Blade here. Not gonna go back in though. I think they were considering jumping on the Ajit there.
Oh, they killed the centaur.
Oh, poor guy.
Now pressure into this top lane. I mean, Radiant, are they going to defend this? They don't have their Rubik. They've got their Global Silence. Their Lifestealer's going to be infested. Slardar's wrapping around, but it is a really risky fight to jump into.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, not really worth it for them, I don't think, without the Rubik. It's only a tier 2. They don't matter as much anymore anyway. It's all about those tier 3s. The big thing for them, again, will be Roche. But you can just see how this late game is just going to be so many problems for them, honestly. Like, this Mirana didn't even have to go for an Aghanim Scepter, and they can't keep up with the split push still on the side of Young Minds. Like, Ember Spirit is just very fast. Even just the Manta Style is fast enough for her.
Oh, initiation, though. This could be a phenomenal fight with the Global Silence. They immediately drop the Disruptor, and that's a gem on the deck. This Weaver is completely picked off. They've now got the gem being picked onto our Slardar, who tries to TP and then just thinks better of it. Just using up that TP, consuming that slot, and Roshan is going to be going down for the second time in favor of the Radiant.
Well, you were quite right about the Disruptor. I
think
fast
the
drop.
Disruptor and Gem Carrier is not the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, you get annihilated. Wiz might also suffer the same fate, though, as he's trying to get some wards up. He's like, oh, but there's 2 dead heroes. Guys, help! Team! Where's my team? Oh, where were you guys? God, this is... I could, like, see the silencer on my team, you know?
You got that full Divine mode, you know? You understand it. Now, oh, Infest Bomb plopped out, but very quick Remnant from the Ember Spirit's going to make it fruitless.
There's a problem, you see. Can't use Orchids from inside Lifesteal, or from inside Slardars. So no option there onto the Ember Spirit, but then again, of course, the Remnant. Very hard to grab before you can pop that one out anyway. And, alright, well, the Radiant, at least they got that one tool that they really need. I'd still say pretty heavily favored for WG. In fact, they just straight up buy another gem. They're like, yeah, we don't care. Whatever. It's fine. I can afford another one. I'm rich.
Let's see who's going to hold it this time if we've learned anything from our mistakes.
If WG want to, I don't think they ever have to fight, which is the biggest problem. Like, this game is, like, super uphill for the Radiant side.
All right, Disruptor holding onto the gem again. We'll see how that's going to go.
God, she's very, very rich. I mean, he's not the highest in net worth, but the items that he has, just this, like, Yule's Octarine Core. 14.6625 cooldown on Yule's Scepter. Thanks for all the digits, Valve. You guys are the best. Like, is that really necessary?
We get some, like, scientific notation in there? That seems wrong. All right. Carl moving forward. He's got his Lifestealer buddy in there, but Dire, it seems like they're going to be going in for a smoke rotation of their own.
They're smoking and fighting into an Aegis team. I think they feel pretty confident.
Definitely feeling
Especially when they have
look
just
at the overall net worth. It's 5,000 in their favor. XP is going to be about 10,000, and you've got heroes hitting big marks in the talent trees where Radiant heroes just aren't there yet.
The Radiant lane push is just like, it's not even there. They don't need to fight right now as WG. They could just like push bottom and mid, but either way, tower goes down. They know they're here. They're coming in. They have the
Courier.
global. Infest in and out. That was weird.
Just trying to figure out the best positioning for this fight, I guess. Global's popped off, so the Dire, they got to play very carefully around this fight. But now for the rest of the fight, everyone's going to be able to do whatever they want. Looks like there's going to be that Silencer chunk down. That's going to be the first casualty. The puck drops the Dag and is able to get the kill on the Disruptor, so another gem is going to be on the deck. Mirana now focused down by 3 Radiant heroes, and Weaver wants to get close. Is going to be trapped in by that Dream Coil, picked off once again. Mega kill streak back up for Carl, and that's going to be only 1 hero dead on the Radiant, where 3 are dead on the Dire. We might not even be done here, as it looks like Kirito wants to go in onto Afu. Has that Scoochie. Doesn't look like he's got the damage to actually finish it off. Kirito, please calm down. You're a Rubik behind tier 3s.
This is kind of weird. I gotta say, where's gaming? I can force the buyback on the
Slardar
bed.
has 2 gems now.
Twice the true sight makes sense.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Dire's top tower
Shocking how well that fight
Shadow Blade,
went.
but he's just going right on in, playing like he doesn't have anything to lose here. If this Slardar goes down, that's going to be huge for the Dire, and it looks like they will end up burning the Aegis on the Lifestealer. Risen getting very, very low in the back lines, facing an indecision over whether or not to back out. Nice Static Storm catching onto 2, and they might be able to focus down this Lifestealer. Slardar just going to be sitting there, crushing it down. Looks like he will end up dropping 2 gems. Kirito falls as well. Oh, what a massacre. Silencer, the only survivor, as Young Minds just stay in way too long.
Yeah. X-Nova's a player, too. Like, all the biggest fights this game have been his Static Storms, and that's just another one right there.
Got both his gems back.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. They were just an investment. Yeah, put that down in the base. Like, yeah. Life's good again. So, Warriors Gaming take a fight they might not even head to. In the top lane, considering like the map pressure they had going everywhere else. It goes
Young Minds just like strolled into them. That was...
It certainly worked out well for Young Minds, though. That even though the global was super weird, they win the first fight. They stay too long. They lose massively, and now we're kind of back to where Warriors Gaming, where maybe just felt like they were anyway. Like they're just far enough ahead. They don't care about anything on the Radiant side. Buy back from the puck. What's that digging now? 2? It's 3 actually.
These Mirana illusions are so chunky, and now she's got an Orchid of her own, so she's able to go and silence a target of her choice. Kind of give them a taste of the old global, but. Look at these racks just melting down very slowly. Puck trying to go in, trying to see if they can possibly get any catches here, but full lane of Raxes are down. Dreamcoil connecting onto 4. There's going to be a nice Moonlight Shadow preventing any sort of vision, and without the use of the gems, it's going to be pretty difficult. Puck's able to go ahead and use that dig and snap up at the Mirana, but a Mirana for a full lane of racks after a 1 fight, that is completely fine.
Yeah, Warriors Gaming are fine with that. There's still buyback available on her, too. But Young Minds, they definitely proved last time they can still win fights. And that was with a pretty disastrous global. Or at least not a very offensive one. 39-minute Tranquil Boots come out for our Silencer. He feels like he needs a little bit of armor here. I can agree with that.
He's got him, dude. He's got it.
Yeah, well, some more movement speed, perhaps.
And this is now a 3rd gem being purchased, I believe. Silencer's got one, Disruptor's got one, and there was one in the Dire base. We got 3 gems in play all of a sudden.
Fair enough.
It's going to be really hard to keep wards up. You see Dire having a really nice ward on the Radiant high ground, able to plop that one down while they were taking racks. And now over here in the bottom lane, we got Puck and Ember Spirit. They're kind of coming to an understanding, realizing they don't really want to tussle with each other.
Well, I guess we're back onto the roast train there, folks. It's unlikely that they'll find anything with this Infest gank. Looking for the general items this game. Nothing too crazy. Everyone's exactly where you expect. Afu's Lotus Orb, maybe. Like, able to make a couple plays here. Again, just more of this, like, doubling down on the silence. And all these items become just more and more valuable up against them. Blink Dagger from X-Nova. Certainly going to do work. Stack Storm's looking damn fine this game. And I guess now we just start aiming towards that potential Bloodthorn, maybe? See, iron up here. Nothing chosen yet for our Lifestealer, but could think about queuing that one on up for himself.
Dire, bless you. Dire's starting to lay in the pressure. There's no more exterior targets to go for, aside from shrines. Surprised they're not actually focusing down shrines here, knowing that the Radiant are gonna probably want to defend those.
Nice, popping back out. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Probably going to be able to just go take them down. Dire scan, make sure no one's in their way, and with that Observer Orb placed ahead of them, they can probably start peeking up in towards that shrine. Don't really want to get caught by any weird wraparounds. Then again, it's pretty unlikely you'll see a TP wraparound with this sort of a play coming through. It's just like, it's too far apart, too split. A low percentage chance play, but they can push themselves in, wait till they see it like 3 or 4 heroes up in this high ground, and then they can back towards the shrine if they want. Dire side vision, they still see Puck up top as well, so they still feel very confident. Now he just backed away. They know Puck's TPing right now, so they back up, and they just go to the shrine.
Gonna be a nice easy pick for the Dire, just further limiting Radiant's ability to leave their base, but Puck going back to defend that. I mean, Radiant have had a huge amount of control over the Roche Pit here. If their last shrine is taken up here near the Roche Pit, they got really no way to get in there. That's gonna be Dire's Roche and Cheese.
Oh, they jump in.
Disruptor just got evaporated. Holy crap.
Yeah, they were not expecting that at all. I mean, we had the Dire side vision going up, and there was just suddenly a Slardar. So, Shadowblade doing work. And, Yeah, they didn't even get a good use of that arcane rune either, because Nana was like kind of sitting onto it. I think they were holding it for the disruptor potentially, and then Nana just ends up having to pop
look at Slardar and Rubik.
the
They're
moonlight.
having a moment. Oh.
Oh, they're up on the cliff just chilling together.
They were just snuggling on the cliff.
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
All right.
Roche, 2 minutes leftish. So that'll be back up and online. Dire much faster taking it now, I would say. Just in between all this damage, the mantas and whatnot, helping out. I guess, sadly, Illusion's not very useful in there, but Ben also having his Aghanim Scepter. Trying to keep Ajit rocking and rolling through these fights. So much magic damage coming out from him. Not very good up against this Lifestealer, but everyone else on the Radiant side, very handy for him.
Taking a look at hero levels now, we've got Ember Spirit and Puck hitting that 25. Marana's getting real close. Oh, jump in, and Fest Bomb popped out, and the global. Ember's going to go ahead and use himself to try to stay alive, zip away from the Earth Spirit, but it's like Ember will be the one biting the dust. Our Lifestealer's able to go ahead and crawl through that kinetic field. He's taken some damage, but still going to be above half health, maybe ready to re-engage. And it looks like Puck just kind of sneaking around, wanting to play a little bit dirty, tossing out that orb, trying to see who he can catch.
God, that
Not
talent
gonna be
is
in
so
time.
sick. It's so fast at level 25. It's actually gross. The 300 gold per minute is definitely tempting. It's like hard to say no to, but then once you've used that orb a couple times, I personally think it's amazing. Look at this thing. And you can jump to that anytime. So
the same
good.
with the 200 Scoochie movement speed. Like, you play a full 25 game as Weaver, and then you go back to, like, level 1 Scoochie, and it feels like you're in molasses.
Oh. Well, they've done it. I mean, from the Ember pick off, the global right into the Orca, and now deep dive in here. But again, Puck can kind of do this now.
Dire's bottom tower
Has that
is under
Dream Coil at the ready. These guys are really going to rotate around and try to catch him out.
There was a sick play that actually saved. Well,
Oh.
actually, no chance of that.
Rush in. This Marana could be in some serious trouble. Just completely blown up by the Dagon. That's going to be Marana and Weaver dead with no buyback. Two of the major damage sources on this team. They're just going to be tapped out, and this is going to be a full lane of Rax going the way of the Radiant, and they're just keeping going. Risen goes in, gets that crush, and they land a triple man Dream Coil behind the tier 4s. That's going to be another Dagon dropped, another hero dead. They've got a Lotus Orb going, but can only do so much work. A gem is dropped behind the tier 4s. All of Young Minds are still up. The Rubik's burning low, but still alive. There's going to be another Infest into Risen. He's still BKB. Does he want to blink forward and reinitiate here? Like, he's definitely tempted.
Oh, this is Ajit's time to shine, though. This Octarine core, he's the one who can actually win this
Oh.
entire fight.
Rubik tries to be a player and just dies. Where did that gem end up that was behind the tier 4?
Man, Ajit is still doing it right now.
Oh, they're going in. They actually get the bash they need. Ember Spirit is able to use himself at the very last second. Remnants himself away. Looks like they're going to find
Afu?
maybe the consolation
No,
prize of
no.
the Earth Spirit.
You can't live. No! No!
He's trying. Dude,
Afu,
he's
run!
drawing so much attention.
All right, we
Meanwhile,
have to
the
go
Rax
back.
are going down. Lifestealer's fighting within a static storm. Does end up going down here. This last little Rax, it's staying up. Carl, he really wants it. One more hit. Is it going to be enough? This Rax lives with 20 health.
Nova's going to find it, too. Oh, he's going back
Oh,
in! Carl!
okay.
Oh, what
You're
a player.
You're a player.
Afu's still alive, though.
Oh!
All right, it was. Nova? Can't find the glimpse, even with the vision? No. Oh, all right. Well, they still have mid,
What
so
a
that wasn't
fight.
megas, but yeah, that was pretty god tier. Big plays come up from our Ember Spirit and our Puck, both narrowly surviving at the end of those ones. And they'll ditch another gem inside the base here. So at this point now, we got lane bot, lane top taken for the Radiant, and then just that mid set taken for the Dire side here. Overall, the graph, it's come back to near 0. It's now slightly in the favor of YM at 5. Wasn't really a big
Look at
lead to
that
begin with, but yeah, the
vertical
experience.
increase.
Whew.
That's just 2 lanes of Rax in like 4 seconds.
All right. Well, there go the triple arrows, mostly used for scouting. Definitely the biggest benefit of this one. What about our other 25 talents here? So it's just those ones, right? Yeah. The Octarine core, of course. Good reason to go for the Searing Chains, where I saw Ajit use that quite a bit in that last engagement.
Got our Lifestealer. He's 24 and a quarter. Is it gonna get that rage duration or the extra armor? I think with so much magic damage, you gotta go rage.
Yeah, the armor would make him
So
like
much
9
armor.
invincible to the Weaver though and the Marana. So I'm not sure. I don't know how much 1 second is gonna make compared to like a permanent 15 armor. Is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Oh, they
Raptor going in.
don't have the gem.
Puck. I mean, With all the gems in this game, that's a little bit inexcusable.
Oh,
You got
no.
Lifestealer coming out. He's got a silence if he needs to. They are
Oh,
able
the
to go
ult
through.
for the Weaver.
Disruptor is going to be trying to go and save his friends, but okay. We got dead Disruptor, and there's going to be a dead Afu very shortly, and it looks like Risen going through is going to be
Swing and a
BKB,
miss.
misses the crush, but now Nana jumps in, lands a really nice Starstorm. Does she have the fortitude to actually stay in this fight? Is going to go ahead, land the Orchid on the Silencer, chasing him down, picks the gem off his dead body. Now one of the gems is now back in dire control. Meanwhile, Puck is just having some fun. Still alive, just barely. Yules himself. The arrow is not going to connect. Puck is going to go try to phase shift out of this one, but I don't think that's going to be too lucky. Puck ends up dying. Let's forget.
Were you saying that Puck is fucked? Is that what
I
that
was
was?
saying- I was saying Puck is not fine, but it turned into Fuck.
Well,
It's all good. Puck's dead. 93 seconds, no buybacks. This is a really good window for WG.Unity. They've got Roshan and Cheese available to themselves, so they could just plow down top or bottom and get another set of racks.
I was going to feel pretty bad for Warriors game if they lost that fight, only just because the way those arrows flew through from Nana, it was like a perfect 3 arrows, and they were like heroes here and here that would have been like game-ending hits. They actually connected, so some good jukes from Young Minds, but not enough to win the actual engagement in the end, so no surprise they just pop right into the Roche Pit.
Like Weaver has a nice little space made for that Aegis, and Aegis is actually going to go the way to Nana, and Weaver's going to grab up the cheese.
Yeah, so Bloodthorn, man, just does a ton of damage. This BKB as well. They really want to try and rush us down. I mean, they probably don't think that Puck has, they probably think Puck has buyback, just because it was like, what, 200 gold she was missing.
Yeah.
So not looking to do anything too drastic here, but they clean up the other shrine, they get themselves the Aegis. And I'm sure they'd love to try and at least force this here, but with their own Ember Spirit missing buyback for a full 2 minutes, slightly risky.
All right, so Slardar, he's got himself another gem. Disruptor's holding on to a gem. We've got absurd amounts of vision. You can see that resulting in these wards being a little bit, Dire's still got some really good vision. Radiant's really only got the 2 here, one near the bottom rune and one near the mid lane. And they're going to go through and get dewarded pretty quickly as soon as Dire rotate up that way.
Yeah, even just that tier 2 in the mid lane actually still helping up the Dire quite a bit. Even though it's 50 minutes in, it does help let you know at least where they certainly aren't going to be from Young Minds. But man, we are getting the big ticket items at this point. That Mjolnir on the Ember Spirit. Some serious damage. Raining side, nothing really extending to the craziest points here. Just that, again, another Bloodthorn out this game. It's on the Lifestealer this time. Oh, jeez, Puck, don't startle me, Carl. That Octarine core with the Dagon is ridiculous. 7.875 seconds on the 800 damage, of course.
So what other item progression is left to be had? We've got Weaver still sitting on the Ring of Aquila and 5,000 gold. I feel like that can be changed out pretty quickly.
Yes, that I would say that's a pretty good choice in terms of items to maybe be ditching at this point in the game.
I'm no hardcore analyst, but
No.
I feel like that's not giving you the value stats that 5,000 gold could give you.
Yeah, it certainly needs save by. Ooh, Carl?
Puck?
Oh, no way to break it from Nana.
Puck's going to be going back in, maybe thinking about re-engaging, just tossing out an illusory orb to keep everyone scared again. Double speed, double distance, able to get pretty much wherever you want on the map very quickly. Got a little bit of rat coming in. Slardar.
Yeah, they're gonna
his buddy
try.
Inside.
They're hoping, man. They want this Ember Spirit to show. And
Oh,
here he
they
is.
want to get this down.
Oh, guys. Oh, they actually got him.
Oh! Did you see that
Did he
damage
not have a
coming out of
remnant?
that Bloodthorn? I think he one swat of Lifestealer when it had that big old Bloodthorn on him was just like 75% of his health. I don't think he had time to react.
Wow.
That is a huge kill. He does have buyback, but that is still super expensive for the Ember Spirit. Who'd
Oh,
like
that
to be.
he must have just ticked into it, eh? Yeah, because I was gonna say when he died, he did not have buyback, but it was just the timer-based one. So back up now.
Yeah, that's all.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
If they burn that Ember buyback and actually continue to push, that is huge for Young Minds. This is getting really, really tense. There's one lane of racks down. The Dire know they need to keep this up. They can hold pretty well. They got decent creep clear, but Megas changes everything.
Shrine's going this way now. Still have the other one by Roche, surprisingly. They'll smoke up, maybe head that way. Well, it's a close game. And the Radiant now, maybe Corito, hoping to be the big hero with his Aghanim Scepter. The funner heroes in the late game.
Yeah, this Rubik has been playing really, really well. Like, he's been stealing when he needs to steal, but also just the blink initiations, the lifts are awesome. He's used the Glimmer Cape to save his allies a number of times. Definitely keeping on top of things.
Oh, they have no idea. Arrow. Oh, Nana is right on the pulse on that one, though. Just like, I don't know. I'm not throwing an arrow in there. I'm a little bit scared. And X-Nova wisely probably going to start looking for some wards. And we'll find this one. And, of course, when you see a ward, you can check the timer, and they know they were all just here. And that might give them an opportunity to smoke out. Could be considering it. No buyback force in the Ember Spirit, of course. Very important here in this case. Maybe the Radiant weren't feeling too confident without buyback on their Lifestealer. It is there now. He actually just farmed it up a moment ago there on those Ancients. Might be time for them to get a little bit aggressive, or then again, they could just wait for the split push to come out from the Dire side. Again, overall, I would say still much better on the split push for the Dire. You're like more pressured as the Radiant have this Slider and Lifestealer together, and they're more of a unit team. Puck can do a little bit of split pushing and relatively safely, but Weaver and Ember Spirit certainly able to get things done right now.
Ember Mjolnir just did a ton of work. Did you catch that?
Oh, no, I did not.
He just sleight of fisted around a creep wave, and the entire wave of super creeps was just dead from Mjolnir procs.
Yeah, they have a great lineup for it. I mean, considering that there's 2 lanes and things have still looked relatively okay for the Dire, you can definitely see how much split push they have here. So, again, they're trying the same play here on the Ember Spirit. Dire scan, not going to find anyone unless Silencer, nope, doesn't quite eke his way into it. Who is our gem on? Still Disruptor? Yes. Still in the back lines here, so. Arrow Scouts, not going to find anything. Radiant Vision, fairly blind right now.
Yeah, again, Dire been doing a good job crawling around the map, using their gems to check out everything they can find, and now all exterior shrines are down. This is going to be Radiant team. They're pulling a fast one. They're just going in through top lane. They're trying to
the arrow hit!
The Dire.
Can they actually get the
puck,
stun?
though? He's got to use... Oh, they get the puck down. He's got buyback. He's got Boots that travels level 2. That's actually not a huge blow.
The triple arrow. It's coming into play. The talents.
Talents, man. Dota 2.
All right. I'm never going to doubt that. Actually, I've always been kind of on the arrow. I feel like the arrow's a little better than the 100 attack speed. I feel like you want the leap as a defensive option, so it's so risky to try and use it in that offensive, like, 100 attack speed method. But the scouting, there you go. Arrow's paying off. So, unfortunately, they're only pushed down the mid lane. Then again, of course, with creeps, they can easily just burst down with these side towers. Leap stolen by Corito here. Don't make too much difference. No, Nana, though. Still has that. No, it does not have that Aegis. That's Satanic, though. Oh, can't even get it off.
You made some interesting noises there, Mob.
Yeah, well, I felt bad. It's like, she just looks so confident. She's like, oh, yeah, no, I could be here. It's fine, guys. I don't know. She was like VIP. It's like she was in the wrong area or something. Didn't even get the BKB off. I think she thought she was a lot tankier.
Yeah,
like, what was she even doing? Like, what do you have to gain there? Without
I don't know. I think just,
team?
maybe spraying out some scouting arrows. Looks like she was maybe thinking about getting aggressive on like a Rubik or a Slardar, but it was just too many at once, and that is a dead Mirana. Does have buyback. Man, that Rubik leap looks stupid.
Most of I prefer the Rubik stolen like Earthshaker thing. The totem.
My favorite so far has been Wukong's command. If Rubik steals it, he has tiny Rubiks in the circle.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Dire structures are
Well, the last set of racks. Mirana still not feeling the pressure to buy back. Impressive. Holding steed here. And Karita. Oh, Risen has his blink canceled. That was close.
Rubik
Bots
just
too,
being
though.
forced after on
Puck.
the map.
Whew. That was close. Tense
Trying to figure out
stuff.
if they can, go in and slow siege this, or if they need to bait out more abilities from Warriors Gaming, or if they can just kind of pile drive into the towers, because it is not easy right now. You look at the overall net worth chart, it's almost even. XP, similar stories, so it's not like one team has huge items advantage, huge levels advantage. It is right down to it. It's on player skill now.
And they spotted out Risen right there. Waiting once again. It's Carl, 25.7 mana regen. This is sick on a puck, too. He can just farm so quickly across this map. Who needs 300 GPM to move that fast? Okay, Haste Rune. That's actually going to like slow him down. At this point. He moves very quickly right now. Ajit gone. In and out rather quickly. Mirana back up. No punishment paid. I believe this is still game 1, Annie.
This is still game 1. We are 60 minutes in. Elimination mode is not too far away, but we have got to finish our Mr. Cat before we get into that good stuff.
What is everyone now? 25. Where I checked all of these. We had the armor from the Life Stealer. I suppose Ben, I'm not sure. He just assumed. Yeah, he went for the Chikuchi, of course.
Oh man, that's the best feeling ever when you're just flying across the map. And it's off cooldown like so frequently, so you can just keep going. It's every 6 seconds you just get stupid move speed.
Yeah, especially when you have the Agnum Scepter as well, just because you want to be there as like this offlaner utility. You want to be able to save your friends, and when you're bootsless and you don't buy Blink on the hero, it's the best possible way to be in the correct place at the right time. And how close is he to his scythe? He's 2780, so he can get the staff surplus, but he's trying to hold on to his buyback. Doesn't want to waste that, so we're still about 800 gold away from his scythe. Well, next Roche.
Looks like
they're going to find it in a moment here with that Centaur.
Is almost there. There we go. Back up. Immediately pinged out. Wiz just is going to go while he's smoked up. Posture up right next to the pit and just let Slardar and friends take him out.
Well, we often talk about Night Stalker in late game and how handy he is, just like Vision, how important that is. Silencer kind of comes in the same thing because at the end of the game, it's all about those initiations and just like which team can blow up one person first. Because at this point, everyone's just so stacked. Like each hero adds so much value that removing one can just make your whole fight fall apart. And
Carl?
Global can certainly do that.
Carl?
Global?
Global's coming now, but is it too late to save the puck? Looks like he's already getting pretty low. He's going to go ahead and phase shift himself out as the rest of his team arrives, and this could be huge for Radiant. This might be the fight that winner loses it all. Looks like Weaver's just going to be going and spraying some serious damage onto the puck, who's going to heal himself up. Meanwhile, Nana going to be running away. The Crush comes in to reinitiate, and Nana will get blown up by the Dagon. Oh man, that Mirana's dead. Has buyback, spends it up. The Earth Spirit goes down. He now just barely has buyback as well. Similar story with the Weaver, so it's now just going to be...
Ajit! He's going to get found. There's a Yules.
Oh, man, the Yules popped up, and that's going to be perhaps another kill, though, with Nana back in the fight. That is scary. A Crush comes back in. One more hit secures Risen the kill onto the Ember Spirit.
Oh,
he's going to
the
buy back immediately. And now the Slardar, he's in some serious trouble. Already consumed his cheese. Life Stealer, meanwhile, just wailing away. Still has an Aegis at his disposal. There's going to be Afu rolling back on through, but Carl able to pick him to pieces.
Wow.
And that's going to be GG called out. Warriors Gaming Unity dropped their first game of the day to Young Minds. What a game.
Very well played by Young Minds coming to the later stages of this one. They had a lineup that honestly did not scale that well. Like, so dependent on those Slardar Lifestealer ganks. Did not always go to ideal perfection either, but they just, those couple key pickups in the Emperor Spirit, just kept managing to find them, bringing them down, pressuring the lanes that way, and maybe not finding the same split push you might expect from Warriors. Just because of that overall threat that was coming from the Slardar and the Lifestealer, and then Puck just getting so farmed that even that hero was going to be enough of a pressure across the entire map. So